whenever I can trap my children, I do, to come be with me. So in the homes I've tried to have, I want them to be kind of fun for them. My sons and daughter, they surf out here, we dive for lobster, we spearfish halibut right here.
Kevin Costner and his second ex-wife Christine Baumgartner recently crossed paths under some pretty uncomfortable circumstances. In a way, they were reunited, but I have to admit, neither parties were looking particularly thrilled about this unification. It was at their son Caden's high school graduation, which is a moment that should have been joyful and united in an ideal world. But instead, even based on photos and videos alone, it clearly felt distant and a bit chilly. I mean, if these two don't hate each other, I don't know who do. So, let's talk about it. When you look at the photos that were taken at the graduation ceremony in Santa Barbara, California, it will take you only 2 seconds to notice right away how the couple kept their distance insistently. Kevin sat beside his daughter Lily, who was 38 years old. So, he was far away from Christine. They didn't interact throughout the event. There were no shared smiles or casual chats, not even a single one. When it came time for photos, their son Caden took separate pictures with each of them. First, he posed with Kevin, who smiled warmly and looked proud as Caden draped his arm around him. Then Caden made his way over to Christine, who looked beautiful in a brown midi dress and white heels. She smiled too, holding up his diploma for the cameras. But there was no mingling between the parents. And of course, there was no family photo, not even for the sake of their son. I know, it sounds very heartbreaking. And not gonna lie, it truly was. That being said, I don't know about you guys, but to me, this awkward reunion wasn't a surprise, considering their divorce was finalized nearly 2 years ago after a long and contentious battle. If you have been keeping up with my channel, you might remember that I covered the entire process thoroughly at the time. If you didn't know, Kevin and Christine were married in 2004, but their marriage came to an end after 20 years of ups and downs, culminating in a divorce process that wasn't exactly quiet or easy. The settlement was reached in 2023, following months of back and forth. Reports said that Christine had to drop her request for $850,000 in legal fees after a judge ruled their prenuptial agreement would be enforced. Even so, she received more money than originally stated in their prenup, including $63,000 a month in child support for their 3 kids: Caden, who is 18, Hayes, who is 16, and Grace, who is 15. The couple released a joint statement saying, "Kevin and Christine Costner have come to an amicable and mutually agreed-upon resolution of all issues pertaining to their divorce proceedings." But knowing how messy divorces can be, especially when children and large estates are involved, I can imagine it was an emotionally draining time for both. Plus, at the time, it was rumored that Christine has cheated on Kevin. But of course, nothing got confirmed by either parties. Since the divorce, Christine seems to have moved on with a new partner named Josh Connor, who was the father of their child's friend. So essentially, he was a family friend to Costner. Sources close to her say she's beyond happy in this new relationship, which she describes as committed and loving, with someone who shares her values. I mean, I know a lot of you guys do not like her, but you know what? I'm glad she is happy. For Kevin, though, the focus remains firmly on family, even if it's complicated. If you didn't know, he's a dad to 7 children, ranging in age from 15 to 41. I mean, personally, I cannot imagine having even a single child, so kudos to Kevin for having 7 of them. He has 3 kids from his first marriage to Cindy Silva. Then there's Liam with Bridget Rooney. And finally, his youngest 3 children with Christine Baumgartner, whom I just mentioned. On that note, I have to admit, Kevin's approach to parenting is something I really admire. He doesn't treat all his kids the same because he knows they're all different. And that's the key to being a good parent, in his words. You love them all the same, but they are all different. So you find ways to do that without treating them all the same. Clearly, he's learned over the years that you have to take into consideration their differences. He also admits that parenting is a continuous learning process, not just for the kids, but for him too. He said, "If you just keep coming at them in a certain way and you're not getting through, it's up to you to change a little bit. Maybe your messaging, maybe how you do it. You have to adjust to their individuality." I mean, if Kevin says this is the key approach to parenthood, I believe in him. But let me know what you think about his big family and relationship with his children. By the way, regarding Caden's graduation, Kevin said, "My son Caden is graduating, so all the children are coming in to see him graduate. It'll be a 4 or 5 day event, hanging out for as long as we can." Kevin also talked about how he tries to make his home a welcoming place for his family, a place they'll want to come back to, even as they grow older and start their own families. He said, I always design my homes for me and mine, for my children and their children, so that they enjoy coming back. Of course, while all this personal stuff is going on, Kevin's professional life is still going strong, and he has zero plans to retire. At the age of 70, I know a lot of you guys expect him to slow down, but Kevin begs to disagree. In a recent exclusive interview with People magazine, he said, I don't even think about retiring because I'll just move to the next thing that captures my imagination. Kevin also explained that his work choices come from his imagination and passion, not because anyone tells him what to do. My imagination is what determines what I do, not a boss. When asked about what the future might bring, Kevin revealed that he doesn't have a traditional bucket list. He said, I don't have those things. I have that list, but I don't refer to it that way. But certainly my eyes and my enthusiasms are wide open and very big. I mean, clearly this man loves his job and enjoys the life to the fullest despite few setbacks on the way, such as the divorce, the Yellowstone feud, or the recent flop of Horizon. And personally, I love that for him. But let me know, how do you feel about Kevin and his career? Do you think he should retire soon? For more weekly updates on Kevin Costner, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.